Mukam karoti vachalam, pungam langayate grim, yatkripatamaham vande, Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So here, now we are in 6th canto, prayers of Hamsa guhya prayers by Daksha. Last week I explained about Daksha, but still now some devotees joined today. So for their understanding, I have to explain something about Daksha. Daksha is a mixed devotee. Definitely he is a devotee. So Krishna fulfills. Definitely Daksha is a devotee, but he is mixed devotee. So Lord Krishna arranges each jiva a life according to their desires. If this is stated, we are surprised. We are very much surprised to see this. No, I don't want this, but I am given this. No, but this is what we worked for in the previous lives. Whatever we are today, we have done something to get this. So the Daksha personality is very interesting character also. I was thinking about Daksha because now we are into that prayer. He achieved a greatest position. Imagine he comes in the previous cantos where he performs a great yajna. The whole universe, they are joining in that yajna. So, but when he enters the arena of some big assembly of demigods, that is before he performs that yajna. So everybody gets up and pay their obeisances to him, except his son-in-law. Son-in-law is above him. But still, Daksha's son-in-law, Lord Shiva, is not out of false pride. He didn't get up. He was in the meditation of Lord. That's why he didn't get up when Daksha entered the arena of demigod assembly. Understand? But Daksha mistook it. Though he is in a very, very, very higher level, devotee, but still he didn't understand, he couldn't see there is another very elevated Vaishnava who is as good as God. Lord Shiva is as good as God, just some difference. But this Daksha couldn't identify that. That's why calamity came. At any level of our spiritual height, we may commit mistake. We may commit offense. So we need to be very, 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 very careful. Being simple is always better. We remain simple, do whatever is taught to us, guided to us. Our Guru Parampara gave us, our Acharya Srila Prabhupada gave us a simple path, but sincere path, straightforward path. And we do that and go back home, back to Godhead. But if we have Anya Abhilashita, lots of other desires, then we will end up like Daksha. Daksha's life is very complicated. Why we need to be complicate our life? Because in our mind, we carry so much desires, so much desires. And those desires, if we see, it is very, very smelling. We can say, yeah. Because we have so much material desires that entangle us in this material world. So Daksha, though he performed very high level pious activity along with spiritual activity, so the Lord employed him as one of the Prajapatis. Universal avas, see, in the material world, to become a MLA, MP or chief minister or something, how much we have to put our endeavor, not easy. It is not easy that easily all these things are we get. So in one way, if we think that think of the position of Daksha, the whole team of the full arena, they get up when he comes, when he enters. When he enters, he was shining, you know. That's because of his piety, you know. He has done so much sacrifice, so much tapasya, so much endeavor to gain that, to gain the position of Prajapati. He did so much, so much, so much for many, many lifetimes, maybe. I don't know. It's not easy to become a Prajapati. So he became Prajapati, but what is the use? He couldn't recognize his own son-in-law is an elevated Vaishnava. When did he understood? When his daughter left the body, when a big calamity happened, when his false ego became so big, and that gave him back. Nothing punished him. Nobody punished Daksha. His own false pride punished him. That's why in our Sampradaya it is said, you chant the holy name. Remain humble. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna manina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Chant, chant, chant the holy name. Become humble, become humble. Though you performed so much meditation, tapasya, this and that, you became even the Daksha. Still, the material contamination didn't go out. You see the both sides. It's very interesting, you know. Very interesting. In any level, we can make mistakes. In highest level also, from highest level, we can fall down. So that's what happened in Daksha's life. And he couldn't recognize his own daughter is Mahamaya, right? Sati, she was married to Lord Shiva because her only qualified husband is Lord Shiva. So Brahmaji is above Prajapati Daksha. So he suggested that you please give your daughter to Lord Shiva because nobody else is qualified to marry her. That also he didn't understand. He didn't understand. He thought, no, Shiva is not qualified to marry my daughter. But because Brahma, my father, told, so I gave my daughter to a beggar. He was thinking like that without understanding the position of Lord Shiva. He was thinking Lord Shiva as beggar. What an unfortunate condition. But he was given back. He was punished. Though Lord Shiva never wanted to punish him. Lord Shiva is always above all this friendship, enmity, love and hate, all these things. He is above these dualities of this material world. When Daksha offended Lord Shiva for not giving him respect, Lord Shiva tolerated. He is a Param Vaishnava and he tolerated his misbehavior. He said, don't fight. His followers were about to fight because Lord Shiva's followers are Bhutaganas, all this, Asuras, all. Because Lord Shiva is very merciful, he accepts everyone. So these followers wanted to kill Daksha then and there. But Lord Shiva said, no, I don't want this. Let me go out. So he went out of that scene. But wife is Shati. Shati wanted to attend Daksha's sacrifice. Daksha later, after some time, Daksha conducted a hi-fi, pomp and show, a big sacrifice in which all the great personalities, the demigods, the heavenly planet, Denisians, all of them were invited. Sati is looking, oh, all are going. I am sitting with my simple husband under the tree. All are going. So, but Sati, though she is Mahamaya, Maya, external energy of the Lord, but when she performs some pastimes, she also acts as if she is a conditioned soul. That's all I can say. So she wanted to go to her father's place. Lord Shiva told, no, don't go. There you will not get any respect. She was very adamant. She wanted to teach Daksha that Lord Shiva's position is very high. You should respect your son-in-law. For that, she wanted to go, but that is the internal reason. But externally, she was fighting. This is like a childish tantrum. She was fighting with Lord Shiva. She wanted to show the worldly ladies that you should not uh, no, disobey your husband. Disobeying the husband results in big, big calamities. So it's all Leela, so that the ordinary people, ladies, they will learn so much lesson from this pastime. So Sati, there was a big argument between Lord Shiva and Sati. Lord Shiva is convincing her, don't go there, you will be disrespected, and there is a danger. Because he can see the three, he can see the three call, means past, present, and future. So the future, he can see that there is something going to happen. So he want to protect Sati, but Sati is not listening. She says, I am going to rectify him. I want to teach him a lesson. So she goes there to the sacrificial arena where everyone is invited, everyone is given respect. But except Sati was not given any proper welcome or respect. Then collapse. But our mother was there, sisters were there, but she was not invited. She was not given any respect. So again, she felt very, 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 very bad, embarrassed. And she started talking to Daksha. Daksha didn't bother to see her. So that much false ego he had. Then Sati spoke to him that you gave me this body. I'm going to leave this body in front of you. I'm no more going to be in this body. So she sits in meditation and leaves the body. But after that, what happened? The followers of Lord Shiva smashed the sacrificial arena, because also Lord Shiva got very angry, and a demon came from his anger, Virabhadra. He smashed everything, everything. So he cut off the head of Daksha. Then the situation calmed down by the intervention of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma came there and pacified everybody, both the parties. He stopped the fighting. Then Daksha is needed. So they gave a goat head to him. See, if somebody is a goat, the goat is a lower animal and his brain is very low. So to tell the world that if you behave like a goat, you will get a goat head. Then later, Daksha realized his mistake and started praying to Lord Shiva. Then he realized. So this Janma of Daksha ended after some time, because Sati passed away. Then he did some services and then he had to come back again to this material world. He didn't fulfill his devotional service, went back home, back to Godhead. When we see Bhagavatam stories, we see Dhuru Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, and Prithu Maharaj, exalted devotees, whoever. So many exalted devotees, Amrish Maharaj, Ranti Deva, so many great personalities. They all perform devotional service, go back home, back to Godhead. But people like Daksha, they had to come back here again, though they are in the very great positions in this universe. So he was there in the first Manu's period. Now it is sixth Manu's period was going on. So in this period, he comes back again. Again, he makes mistakes, which I explained in the last class. Now he is going to pray to the Lord for progeny of this material world. He is going to create progeny here in this material world. And that he will produce 10,000 boys, and 10,000 boys twice he produced, and twice they became brahmacharis and go for a renunciation, and they never come back to have children or have their kingdoms. So this was done by Narada Muni. Narada Muni made his sons twice as devotees. So this agitated the mind of Prajapati, because he thinks that this is my seva, this is my service to Krishna, and this service was interrupted by Narada Muni, fanatic devotee. The people say like that. When we vigorously preach, when we vigorously take up Krishna consciousness, people think that you people are fanatic. Narad Muni's goal is pure devotional service. Daksha's goal is, it's okay, mixed devotion. So here the clash came, and Daksha cursed Narad Muni that he cannot stay in one place more than 3 days. Narad Muni accepted it as a blessing of the Lord. He didn't bother about. So the point here I'm telling about Prajapati Daksha is, again, even after so many experiences, he committed mistakes. First he offended Lord Shiva, now he offended Narada Muni. So we have to submit ourselves to our spiritual master, our senior devotee, so that we will not become Daksha. Right? In Bhagavatam, we learn how to be great pure devotees, or how not to be devotees like Prajapati Daksha. Though he prayed, Hamsa guhya prayers are from Vedas. This is an exalted prayer. Whoever takes exalted prayers and prays, they draw the attention of the Lord. Though the prayers are very great, exalted, but his internal motive is to do material affairs, right? It is not pure devotional service. Krishna utilizes each and every individual in his plan. So now Prajapati Daksha is praying nicely. We see that he is praying, but this is the prayer in Vedas. He is just reciting, repeating. That is nice. Repeating the previous acharyas, repeating the prayers of the Shastras is nice. So that's what he is doing. This is, as I told you in the last class itself, very technical prayer. The main, now we have done up to 25. Now I will go to 26. So when one's consciousness is completely purified by the contamination of material existence, gross and subtle, without being agitated as in the working and dreaming states, when the mind is not dissolved as in Sushupti, deep sleep, one comes to the platform of trance. Then one's material vision and the memories of the mind, which manifest names and forms, are vanquished. Only in such trance is the Supreme Personality of Godhead revealed. Thus, let us offer our respectful obeisances unto Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seen in that uncontaminated transcendental state. When we can see God, that's the description of this prayer. How we can see God, in what state we can see Supreme Personality of Godhead. We human beings, we are normally in three states of mind. One is Jagran. Jagran means wakefulness. We are aware of what is happening. Jagran. Second is Swapna. Swapna means dream state. Third is deep sleep. That's what explained here. Shushupti. Jagran, Swapna, Shushupti. Shushupti means deep sleep. So now the transcendental state is above all these three states. This is not, then we cross the mind. We cross the mind means There the mind is completely purified. There is no material contamination in the mind, in the heart of the jiva. That state is called Vasudeva Visuddha Sattvam, pure goodness. Vasudeva state. When you become Vasudeva, then Krishna come into you. Yeah, Vasudeva's heart, Krishna came, and from his heart he entered into the womb of Devaki. So one should be Vasudeva state. Vasudeva state is pure goodness, Visuddha Sattvam. So that state, there is no sleep, there is no dream, there is no mental speculation, there is no any mental contamination. It is pure. So the prayers were very wonderful. Daksha's prayer, he has selected a very wonderful prayer and says how we can see the God, how we can how the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed. When we come to the pure state, then the Supreme Personality of Godhead is revealed. So to that Lord, I pay my respectful obeisances unto him, who is seen in that uncontaminated transcendental state. We cannot see him in contaminated state. So what is happening when we go to temple, when we do prayers, when we associate with devotees? This is the practice. Every day we practice, so that the contamination go away. We try and we come down. We try, we come down, right? Every day this is happening. We chant, try to chant. We are not chanting. We are trying to chant. So 26 is done. 27 and 28, the main theme is 27, 28. Yeah. The Lord's personal and impersonal form. What is this Lord's personal and impersonal forms? See, absolute truth is realized in three forms: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So many yogis, Ashtanga yogis, they try to meditate on the impersonal form, right? So this here he is saying, just as great learned Brahmanas who are expert in performing ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices can extract the fire dormant within the wooden fuel by chanting the 15 Samidheni mantras, thus proving the efficacy of the Vedic mantras. So those who are actually advanced in consciousness, in other words, those who are Krishna consciousness, can find the super soul who by his own spiritual potency is situated within the heart. This much I will explain. See, the learned Brahmanas, if you see in the Vedic time, in Vedic times, they just chant some mantras and the fire comes out. Some people in YouTube videos and all, they say that we chant mantra, fire is coming. No, they do some, they spread some chemical on that wood and then fire comes out. They are cheating. The real Brahmanas, not now in Kali Yuga, in other yugas, they had the power to bring the fire from the wood. That wood is called Arani wood. So like that, a pure person who is advanced in consciousness can find the super soul within the heart. See, we study second canto Bhagavatam, we study that a super soul is within the heart. The first step in spiritual path is realizing the super soul within the heart. So this is the example given how our person who is in pure consciousness can realize the super soul within the heart. The heart is covered by the 3 modes of material nature and 9 material elements. Material nature, the total material energy, the ego, the mind, the five objects of sense gratification. Now, I will explain this. Maybe Anuragini may note down this. The heart is covered by three modes of material nature. What are they? Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Three modes. And 9 material elements. Material nature is one element. Total material elements. Material nature, material energy. Material nature, total material energy is called Mahat Tattva. The ego means what? Ahankar. In Hindi, we call it as Ahankar. Ego means, in general, individualistically, if you think about ego, that is the identification of the body as the self. But this is a collective ego of the material world. That is ego. The mind, collective mind. 5 objects of sense gratification. What is the object of sense gratification? Sound, touch, smell, taste. These are all the vision, all this are the objects of sense gratification. Okay, now 9 material elements. Also by the 5 material elements and the 10 senses, which I have explained, 5 gross elements. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. 5. And 10 senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses. 5 knowledge acquiring senses: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. 5 working senses: voice, legs, hands, anus, and genitals. So these are all the 10 senses. These 27 elements constitute the external energy of the Lord. Generally, it is 24. Now, 3 modes are included. If you have a confusion, I can repeat. What are the 24 elements we have done in Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter? 24 elements. Along with that 24 elements, 3 are added. That 3 is 3 modes of material nature. Then it becomes 27. So these 27 elements constitute the external energy of the Lord. Great yogis meditate upon the Lord, who is situated as the super soul Paramatma within the core of the heart. May that super soul be pleased with me. The super soul is realized when one is eager for liberation from the unlimited varieties of material life. One actually attains such liberation when he engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord and realizes the Lord because of his attitude of service. The Lord may be addressed by various spiritual names which are inconceivable to the material senses. When will that Supreme Personality of Godhead be pleased with me? So the prayers are definitely elevated prayer by Daksha. So here it is mentioned clearly that Lord can be perceived by pure devotional service. When one is determined to see him, then that person can see him. That means there he should be very pure. To see the Paramatma within the heart is not an easy joke. So it needs that the person should be very eager for liberation from unlimited varieties of material life. So he should be very much determined. So that kind of person gets the liberation when he engages in transcendental loving service. And the Lord, he realizes the Lord because of his attitude of service. So the Lord may be addressed by various spiritual names which are inconceivable to the material senses. When will the Lord be pleased with me? So Prabhupada is saying in the purport that when we can get the devotional service, when? So in previous verse also it is stated that when the mind becomes pure, when the mind becomes pure, then the Lord manifests himself within the heart. So here also it is said, Prabhupada is quoting Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, Esham Dvandagatam Papam, Jananam Punya Karmanam, Te Dvandva Moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhritavritaha. When one can engage completely in devotional service, when the sinful reactions, papa means sinful sinful karmas are destroyed, then they enter into pure devotional service. But when Prabhupada is writing here that, so when will that state will come? When you become pure? Before we will see this, persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, whose sinful actions are completely eradicated and who are freed from duality of delusion, engage themselves in my service with determination. So there may be a question arise. When we will become pure, when we will be completely, because we are still having the desires, seeds of sinful sins within our heart. When that will happen, when we will become strong in devotional service. Prabhupada is saying that that's why pure devotional service package is given to us. When we practice slowly, all this, two things happen. When we take up devotional service, direct devotional service, pure devotional service, chanting the holy name, Prabhupada gives the example of eating. When a person is hungry, he starts eating, very hungry, no energy. He starts eating. When he eats, the hunger is fulfilled slowly, and he gets energy also. Two things are simultaneously happening. So when we do devotional service, our sins are vanished. Our sins are vanished and we get the taste for pure devotional service. So both are happening, both will happen. So by the mercy of spiritual master, we have taken up devotional service. It is not that we have completely got purified and we got a devotional service. Please try to understand. We have taken up devotional service by the association of devotees. By the mercy of spiritual master, we have taken up devotional service. By mercy of Srila Prabhupada, his books, we have taken up devotional service. Otherwise, when we will complete our sinful actions, when we can enter into devotional service. So Prabhupada is again quoting this, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yadantascha Dhritavritaha Namasyantasya Mam Bhaktiya Nitya Yukta Upasate. Always chanting my names, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So this, when we take up devotional service, this happens simultaneously. So Prabhupada is saying, who can understand him? Devotees can understand him. So there are two subject matters described here, that the two paths. One is personalism, another is impersonalism. That is described as Durvigneyam. So the other one is, last class also we were described. We studied that word, which is, I don't know how to pronounce in Sanskrit. If Shraddha Mataji can help me. Sujneyam, Durneyam. Is it correct? Sujneyam, Durneyam. The Sujneyam is impersonal aspect, and Durneyam is personal aspect. So the impersonal, here it is mentioned that to realize the Brahman realization and Paramatma realization is easy. Bhagavan realization is the topmost and difficult. Though the path of impersonal, the path is difficult, but many can easily understand this. But to understand Bhagavan is difficult. How difficult? Is only devotees can do that. In one way, it is simple only. If the yogi, if the seeker is very simple and sincere, he can understand Bhagavan. But if somebody is very complicated within the mind, they take up the very hard path of impersonalism and realizing the Brahman and Paramatma, they do realize, but coming to the path of Bhagavan realization is difficult. So that's what it is mentioned in this verse. So we will go to 29. Anything expressed by material vibration, anything ascertained by material intelligence, anything experienced by the material senses or concocted within the material mind is but an effect of modes of material nature, and therefore has nothing to do with the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is beyond the creation of this material world, for he is the source of material qualities and creation. As the cause of all causes, he exists before the creation. After the creation, I wish to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Beautiful prayer again. Anything expressed by material vibrations, anything ascertained by material intelligence, anything experienced by material senses or concocted within the material mind is but an effect of material modes of nature. As soon as when we enter into this material world, we are covered by the three modes: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. So whatever we see in this material world is all modes only. So an example is given, when a person is in the mode of goodness, they behave very nicely, they are very good, they do a lot of charity work, they behave well, they speak nice, sweet, palatable words, they are pious, they are truthful, they are sincere, like that. This is the category of goodness. The category of passion, they want to enjoy, work hard, enjoy, a little bit anger. All these things are in the mode of passion. Dull, depression, laziness, this all these qualities are mode of ignorance. Mostly in the animals, ignorance. They are ignorant. They don't understand anything. They are lazy. They are mental. So these three modes cover the jiva. So whatever we see in this world, somebody is very intelligent. They create so many things. So many scientists are there, and we see that big business personalities are there. Politicians are there. Whatever we see, these are the results of material modes. दैवीयेष गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया माम एव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायाम एताम तरन्ति ते. Another verse is there, means to cross over this material nature is very difficult, but one who surrenders unto me can cross over the material modes. There is another verse, who may give me that verse. Karta hum iti manyate. What is this karta?
Prakrute
kriyamana gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma karta hum iti manyate. So a person who performs very great in material life, he thinks, I am doing. I became a doctor. I became an engineer. I became a politician. I became a Miss World, Miss Universe. I this, I that, I that. All these things, they think kartahum iti manyate. I have done, I have done, I have done. No, what Bhagavatam says is, modes have done. Three modes have done. We are seeing what are all happening in this material world are done by the modes of material nature. Very nice, no? So these things have nothing to do with the real nature of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna has given the empowerment, and from distance he is watching, oh, how you are all running, how you are all suffering, how you are all in the name of enjoying, how you are all suffering. These things, he is in distance, Krishna is standing and watching everything. He is nothing to do, though it is his own energy. All these things are happening, his own energy. We are all his Hamsas only. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke. We are all part and parcel of Krishna, that we should never forget. When we forget that, then we suffer like this in this material world, thinking that we are doing. Actually, three modes are doing. So we need to understand that he was existing before creation, and he will exist after creation also, but he is the cause of all causes. What do you mean by cause of all causes? There are so many bad things happening in this material world. Cause is Krishna. Unless he permits that, nothing can happen. When a jiva wants to do sinful activity, Krishna says, okay, do. He facilitates. So he is the cause, in the sense, but the suffering the jiva has to undergo, not Krishna, not the Lord. He is aloof of all these things. So that's why in everything his hand should be there. He has to support you, whether it is good action or bad action. He had made a system. In that system, he will not come into that system. In material world, when Krishna appears here and he performs Leela, sometimes people even curse him, like Gandhari cursed Krishna, right? But he accepts as if he is an ordinary person. When he comes here, he acts like us sometimes. That doesn't mean, that doesn't bind him, because Shastra says that he is not under that, he is above that. Shastra clearly says, so we have to we have to we have to trust the Shastra, that he is not under any modes. And the normal people, the normal commentators, they comment, oh, Krishna is cursed by Gandhari, so his a whole dynasty ruined. No, Krishna's plan is different. He came here, performed his pastimes. He wanted to take all his associates back to Vaikunta. So he accepted, okay, Gandhari, please curse. We all will die and go. I will take all the Yadus along with me. So, but the ordinary people, they don't understand this. Because he is not under the modes of nature. That's the prayer says. With this, I will complete, because it goes on. We will complete next week. So until 29, I have completed. We have 5 more to go. That we will do next week. If you have any question and comments, please ask. Hare Krishna. Prajapati Daksha. If you have anyone wants to become Prajapati.
Hare Krishna Mataji. That
Hare Krishna.
now you told no dynasty, this Yadu dynasty. So let me know about in detail that Mataji.
Yadu dynasty are they are devotees, different kinds of devotees, participated in the pastime of Lord Krishna. Some came from heavenly planets, some came from Vaikunta itself. So many have accompanied Krishna. Some determined souls went back with Krishna. There is a system. A jiva has to go back to Godhead. In the performance of devotional service, if it is not complete, if it is not 100% complete, that state is called yoga brishta. In 1 lifetime, 2 lifetime, 3 lifetimes, if a devotee cannot become 100% pure, then what happens? They end up in heavenly planets. And when the Lord performs pastimes, they come and join in the pastime and get purified, then go along with the Lord. Sometimes they don't get purified, they go back to Swarga or the heavenly planets. So the Yadu dynasty are mixed, many devotees. Some they become perfected and went back with Krishna. Some they went back to heavenly planets.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh,
Rasamurti.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
Eh,
Welcome.
Yes, Pranam Mataji.
Pranam.
Pranam.
Uh,
Mataji, just like Lord Shiva,
hmm.
for a wife, husband should be ideal and he should be followed,
Hmm.
right? But just like Lord Shiva, Sati got insulted. So sometimes our husband
Hmm.
are devotees, but our parents,
Hmm.
like our and
Yeah.
all, they are not devotees.
Hmm.
So they try to disrespect. Otherwise, I don't think they try to disrespect, but they are karmis.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
understand. Yeah.
yes. So husband orders not to meet the karmi parents.
Hmm.
So and not to associate.
Hmm.
Actually, we are not associating, but they say try to keep distance.
Hmm.
How is it possible to keep distance with our own parents?
Understood, understood. I understood.
Yes,
I understood your question. I understood everything. Now I will answer you.
yes,
In a pleasing way, we have to convince the husband. Definitely, they are not devotees, but I do have
yes,
some love for them. And I
yes,
want to make them devotees and I want to give my association to them. Like Sati did. Sati did the same thing. But she
yes.
had a fight with Lord Shiva.
Oh,
Right? When vice versa happens, when the husband's side also non-devotees are there.
yes,
For that he will say, I have seen in many devotees life that husbands parents may be non-vegetarian and they are totally against devotion, but still the husband says, you can
yes,
associate with my parents, not your parents. Maybe my parents may be favorable for devotion. These contradictions
yes,
happen in the women's
yes,
life, wife's
yes,
life. We need to technically handle this, like, softly, politely, humbly, and never, what do you say, exchange the faults of the family members to husband or husband's faults to the parents.
okay.
This exchange, sometimes, out of emotion, the ladies, they criticize their own parents or family members.
Yes,
The same
Mataji.
vice versa also happens. So the distance between husband and your family parents becomes
Yes,
bigger and bigger. That should never happen. That should never happen. Some intelligent parents, they always support the son-in-law. They don't support
mm,
the daughter. That is, they are
mm,
very intelligent. That should be the
mm,
correct behavior. But mostly a clash happens. Some,
yes,
some kind of negativity happens. But the wife,
mm,
being the mediator,
yes,
both the sides, she has to get the beatings. The parents
mm,
criticize the husband criticize the parents. In between, the
yes,
wife is now, getting both the sides. Now you
yes,
should, being wife, we should not allow the parents to criticize the husband, and we should
mm,
not allow the husband to criticize the parents. We have to maintain a balance.
mm, mm,
Maintain a balance, and when you are with husband, and you should make him feel so great, and so that when you want to have some loving affection and exchanges with your family member, you should say, oh, well, go, like that. With his full heart, he should send you there. That
mm,
how we have to perform nicely here.
mm,
It's all a big endeavor, big challenge for women. So we need to
yes,
balance. That's all I can say. If the
yes,
contradiction is too big, it's beyond your control, then you surrender to your husband and listen to whatever he says. Because sometimes the patches cannot be repelled.
Yes.
It is completely gone. In that case, you surrender to husband and you say to the family members, I am sorry. I am a devotee and I have to follow my husband. Yeah, you are all well wishers of mine. You have done so much to me. I thank you very much. I love you so much. But still, I have to follow my husband. Please understand this. Understand my
Yes.
situation. Like that, you have to speak to your. If you, this should have done in the early stage of your marriage, not after
Yes.
20 years or after 30 years. It should be within 1 or 2 years. If the girl is very intelligent, she should balance everything. A girl should always balance, you know. Never criticize both the parties to both. Then they become enemy, and in between you will suffer. You will
Yes,
suffer.
Mataji.
Because both are like both eyes for you. If the husband is criticized by the parents, it is a big pain. If the husband criticizes your parents, it is also a pain. Right?
Yes.
So before that, we should not criticize both the parties. If
Yes,
something is
Mataji.
there, we have to swallow. I don't know. Swallow means you have to tolerate.
Yes.
This is what my neighbor auntie, she used to tell me. When I was small, she is a very nice lady. Uneducated, very simple, uneducated, no philosophy, no bhakti and all. She used to tell me one thing. I got married to this man, and in this family, big messes happened. But what I do, I swallow. She says, she cries, and she used to tell me, I swallow, I tolerate, and go ahead. That's all. Tolerate
Yes.
and go ahead. Yeah, we have chanting, we have our goal. In
Yes.
whatever situation, this is one situation in material world. We have unlimited varieties of situation in material world. You face different problem, and I face a different problem, and Kamila faces different problem, Mrigashi Mataji face different problem, and Shraddha Mataji and Sudarshini Mataji and Vasanta Mami faces different problems. Problems are there in material world. So we are we are very intelligent ladies. Women are less intelligent. It is written in Shastra. But Prabhupada said devotee women are not less intelligent. Why? Why? We understood. That's why we have taken up Krishna consciousness and we have the goal. Just this is a temporary thing which we have to cross. So this is a testing for you. Just to say the mind, come on, leave it. This is mind drama. Another thing. All these things are mind drama. Just we have to raise above the mind. Take beat back, chant, go ahead with your devotional service. If the people around us understand, it's okay. If they don't understand, it's all no problem. No problem.
Yes.
Please raise above the mind. That raising above the mind is not easy. Savai Manaha Sri Krishna Padaravinda only will help us to raise above the mind. Otherwise, it will not. Mind will pull us down. Like great Sati, she made a biggest mistake. Mata is the universal. She is the superintendent of the material world. She commits mistakes. So you may ask, she committed mistake. I am ordinary jiva. Then I will commit more mistake. No, she is there to teach us.
Yes.
She said, I committed mistake means that you also commit mistake. Don't commit mistake. You become strong. I am teaching you. That's what she says.
Yes, Mataji.
By seeing that, yeah, we are devotees. We have given. We are now connected with the Guru Parampara. What is it? You are initiated devotee. That means what? You are in the link. Of course, we are not acharyas, but we are in the link. We are connected. Initiation means connection. You have the connection. So take that connection, catch it. What is this catching it? We are fallen into the material world. Yes,
Yes.
And
Yes.
to escape, we are given the rope. When the rope is given, you have to catch it. Then they
Yes.
will pull. Please try to understand. We are fallen into the dark well. This is a material situation. Imagine. We are fallen into a dark well and we are not able to come out of it by our own endeavor. So somebody outside the dark well, they are putting rope, very strong rope. Maybe
Yes.
if you have seen that in material world, some child has fallen into a well or some bore well or something.
Yes.
They send so many things so that the child catches it and they pull it. Like that, we are getting taking initiation means we have got the rope. We have rescue team who are ready to rescue us. We have to capture it. No,
Yes.
you have to catch the rope, then they will pull. But we are not we are not capturing the rope. We are not trusting the system. Trust it. There ends our material problems. So all these material problems are there for me also, for everyone. So being initiated devotee, we are connected with the line, we are not silly ladies. Normally ladies, what do? They put lipstick, they go to beauty parlor, makeup, go to Miss World, Miss this party, that party, or carrier lady going to space. These are all the material ladies doing. But we are above that. Our aim is not that silly things. Our aim is biggest aim. So these petty things should not disturb us. The people around us should see us and then they get shocked. Oh, she is not an ordinary lady. Small things should never disturb our mind. Take bead bag and chant loudly. With understanding. Yes, all these people are pulling my leg. It may be my husband, maybe my relative, maybe my mother-in-law, maybe my friends. People around us are trying to pull our leg down. Maybe sometimes devotees also. Don't get distracted. Your goal is there. Okay?
Thank you, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah. So we will meet you all in the next week. I will end the class. Kamila, you have any questions?
No, Mataji, thank you. It is clear.
Clear. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhyo cha patithanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Mataji, Sudarshini Mataji.